Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 15, the finale. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. Now, I just want to preface this review by saying this. When this season first started, it seemed very promising. I was really thinking that this was going to be a good season, but by the end of it, I was just confused and I was just confused. Like it's so much confusion on this season. I don't know whether I'm coming or going, but we're gonna go ahead and get into it, honey. So when the episode first opens up, we hear some narration giving very much Bridgerton. Okay, all the ladies are in their roles. We have Lady Contessa returning to fight with Dr. Heavenly. Lady Phaedra had a falling out with Countess Heavenly. The House of Lunsford versus the House of Webb, a king and his quad. Okay, so it's just so much going on. The House of Royal Cards is about to come crashing down. Now, that was so cute. The intro of this episode was very cute, very creative. I thought that was awesome. And it's an ode to Toya and her man and their anniversary. So I loved it. In the next scene, Toya's at the house. The event designers come over to work on the party planning for her and Eugene's 16th anniversary. That lady, ma'am, okay, hey girl, why do you have your feet on that lady's couch? Take your feet off of her, and it's white too. You know what? I wouldn't care if it was white, orange, black, yellow, or brown. Why do you have your feet? You are too comfortable. Ma'am, you're not at home. And I don't want to hear nothing about, well, she didn't have her shoes on. I don't care if you got on your flip-flops on the outside, then you're still picking up debris as you walk. Please do not put your feet in my couch. Like, what is happening? So anywho, now that I've gotten that out of the way, because I just couldn't get past that, I was like, not this lady with her feet in that couch, child. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. They're sitting there. They want to know her budget. Toya says, I want to stay under $25,000. Then proceeds to name this, that, and this in her. She wants a feasting table, a harpist, champagne toast. And then she threw in Red Lobster biscuits. Baby. Oh my goodness. You can take Toya out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of Toya. Baby, that was funny to me. That lady said, the Red Lobster biscuits, that's not in that era. Oh, child, you gotta love Toya. So she wants it to be called Bridgerton because she's like really all enthralled in Bridgerton and all those types of shows. And so she wants her anniversary party to be like that. Now, I just want to say congratulations on 16 years to Dr. Eugene and Toya. As much as I and the people give y'all are made for each other. Okay, you're the hot girl. He's the guy that didn't think he could pull the hot girl. He lets you be you, and I mean authentically you. That is what makes Toya and Eugene's relationship work so well. She gonna be her, and he love every bit of it. He loves every bit of it. That's a man who allows his woman to be exactly who she is. He's not threatened by it. He doesn't try to control her, and that's what makes them work. So I'm so proud of them, especially because I mean, most of your marriage has been spent on camera. This is season 11, and y'all have been married for 16 years. But later on, Dr. Eugene tells us that you've been together for 18. So congratulations. So she's telling the planners about the group because they're asking about the guest list. She's like, yeah, the people divided. I don't know what we're going to do. Okay. Yes, we're going to need security because these people don't know how to act. Now, Dr. G and Sweet Tea, they have not RSVP'd. She's hoping that everybody's going to come together for their love. King and Quad said that they will be there, but they haven't heard from Sweet Tea and Dr. G. In the next scene, Sweet Tea and Dr. G, speaking of, they go to lunch. They get there and she's talking about how high the chairs are. So she gets up there and he's like, yeah, you can get up on that chair. The higher you are, the closer to God or something like that, he said. And then she goes, she's trying to be funny. Okay, thank you, King. The only king I know. He's like, hey, don't call me that. Girl, give it a rest. Please, please, please give it a rest. Y'all enjoy each other. Stop sending subliminals. Stop saying little stuff. Just give it a rest. Oh, child, I'm so sick of y'all. Dr. G, and I'm talking about all of y'all. Not Sweet Tea and Dr. Greg specifically. I'm talking about every last person on this cast. So Dr. G is telling her that he's been hurt by the group, and Sweet Tea is telling him, you know, when she talked to Toya made it seem like they were going to have to choose between the two. But she does not feel like begging to be in the group. If they want her to be there, then she'll be there. And if they don't want her there, then she don't want to be there. And I agree with that. I am not in the business of being in spaces I'm not wanted. They don't like you, girl. Point blank in the period. They used you to get back at Quad, and then the court of public opinion didn't sway in their favor. So now they want to keep Quad and get rid of you because they know. And they've even said that their exes could not come and sit up next to them. So they know that this is not feasible for the long term. So now you and Dr. G have to go. And that's just how they're playing it. Now, we can act like we don't know that's how it's going, but that's how it's going. Moving forward. So, you know, Sweet Tea is saying she feels like she's being mistreated and that they're being mean to her because of Dr. G. Well, listen, to their defense, they also know you stand 10 toes down behind your husband. Hell, you ran up on King. I mean, for crying out loud, they know that you're going to have your husband's back. So for them, it's like, well, I mean, I guess we just have to leave Sweet Tea where she is, because if Dr. G ain't messing with us, then she's going to stick next to her man. And so therefore, and thus and such, she ain't messing with us either. That's just how I see it. So Dr. G tells her that the man asked him about it again when he had already explained what it was. Now, he wants the group to handle it. He's like, they can handle it. Sir, this isn't the group's issue. It's you and King and Quad's issue. It ain't even Sweet Tea's issue because she didn't even do nothing. Y'all need to have a conversation. If it were any other man, y'all would have been squashed this. It's just because it's Quad's man. You and Quad are playing the same game. She don't want to give in because she wants them to boot you out. You don't want to give in because you want them to boot her out. And in the end, one of y'all gonna lose y'all's check. I'm talking about Sweet Tea and Quad because the men don't get paid. But it's just not making any sense. That's crazy. I feel like there's enough fault to go around. And if we begin at the beginning of this season, that honeymoon game or whatever it was, get to know the person that you're with game, whatever the game was, that's what started all of this. Quad, Miss Quad. I'm waiting for you to say, maybe I shouldn't have said such a thing. And then he wouldn't have said nothing to me because I already know what time it is with him. And I know how verbally abusive he can be. And I know what I've gone through with him. So I should not have even addressed them, period. When you turned around and had that back and forth and back, you and Greg were dealing with the unresolved issues. And that stemmed into King having to come forth and defend you. And now here we are. So everybody just shut up. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of this, y'all. Oh, I'm sick of y'all. Moving forward. He said he doesn't feel good about leaving the group or staying. Sweet Tea said, well, maybe, it's time that we just do our own thing. And I hate to say this, but I think it's best because it's too toxic with everybody in the mix. And I can kind of see Sweet Tea's spark fading. And it's just not fair. He speaks to her terribly. And the group treats her like crap. And then we got all these people talking about how volatile she gets and how she is behind the scenes. But why don't they show us that? I want to see it. If that's what's going on, let me know something. Because I sure see Dr. Simone squaring up and hollering and hooping and hollering and ready to fight more than one season. Dr. Contessa as well. If the girl is doing it, let me see it. Okay, I hate to be defending somebody blindly. Please let me know what's going on. So then he says he feels like they're the only ones that are actively trying. Say what now? Oh, honey, it's giving delusional. I do not agree that he should have pressed charges. And it's a bit hypocritical considering that he didn't want Quad to press charges against Lisa Nicole years ago when she had that big ass Band-Aid across her face. He didn't want her to say a thing about that. Why? Because he didn't want to fracture the group. Now that y'all are divorced, you have no problem trying to press charges against her man. Okay. In the next scene, it's the day of Toya and Eugene's party. And she's there making sure that everything is everything. And I'm a lot like Toya in the respect that I love hosting a good party. I love it. The satisfaction that you get from seeing everybody having a good time, the decorations, how everything turns out, being able to be hospitable. I just love it. So, I mean, I'm like Toya when it comes to that, honey. Party me. So the ladies are getting ready. We see each one at their homes. Dr. Jackie and Curtis, they're practicing. You know, I don't trust Curtis as far as I can throw him, okay? But here we are. Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon, they're practicing as well. Child, we know Dr. Contessa love a good costume party. But Dr. Scott, you in this wig? Baby, I was hollering. And when he came sliding in there on that floor and he had on that purple, what did Dr. Contessa say? She said, what in the purple rain? Baby, that was funny to me. I said, this is crazy. The two of them love dressing up. Over on the other side of the A, Eugene and Toya are getting ready. And Toya said, I just love this era. So Dr. Eugene said, girl, the queen was not black. Okay, Bridgerton is made up. Let her live, Dr. Eugene. Let her live, honey. We were queens, Toya. There were some black queens. And I'm being dead serious. There were some black queens. Don't try to stifle her creativity, honey. Let her live. So she starts talking about how she had FaceTimed Sweet Tea to see if they were coming. And she said, you know, I came up with a plan. What we're going to do is from 8 to 9 during the cocktail hour, Sweet Tea and Dr. G can come. And then from 9 on, King and Quad and Heavenly and Dr. Damon can come. And I think this is a mess. That is stupid. At Quad's house, her and King are talking about the fact that Dr. G filed charges. King said it's an attempt to, you know, try to keep me out of the show. And it's really disheartening to try to send a black man to jail because we could have talked. And I agree with that. But also, King, I want you to be able to regulate your emotions. Even when, you know, the man is mouthing off or whatever and getting tough, you got to know in which space and who you're dealing with. So sometimes getting physical is not the answer, because you got a Dr. G and he be ready. Okay, ready to do anything at any attempt that you make. So next time, just be aware of that. And I agree, they could have talked. But also you need to talk to Quad and make sure that she does not address or acknowledge him at all, no matter what space they're in, so everybody can coexist. All y'all played a part in it. Okay, exactly where you are now is everybody's fault. Okay, it is, including the other doctors. So we're not just going to act like, oh, it's just one specific person. All of y'all did this. All of y'all. And you cannot go around telling your woman, you can say whatever you want to say. He better not say nothing, and think you're going to handle it with a fisticuffs, because that's not going to work. In the next scene, Dr. Eugene and Toya are arriving at the party. Dr. Simone, what in the hey, my God, in the eye are you wearing? Girl, what in the Kinsey is happening here? Dr. Simone, what the hell wrong with you? Those are not even the colors of that era. Why would you go and purchase a hot pink dress? You went in the store and said, that's it. It's big, it's poofy, it's Bridgerton. It is not. It looks a fool. I cannot believe you went and bought that. So then Dr. Mimi and Steve, they arrive. Hey, y'all. Simone, you know you can get it wrong, child. Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott, they arrived. Okay, they looked decent. Scott in that wig, but they still looked good. Okay, Miss Tess, I see you, girl. Toya said, you know, all the ladies look beautiful, but some thought it was a quinceañera. But baby, when they played that mariachi music, and they panned that camera to Dr. Simone, baby, that was so funny to me. So the party's underway. The party's underway. So tip up your cup and throw your hands up and let me hear the party say. Okay, it's really going down. Okay, shout out to Montel Jordan. And this is how we do it. So Dr. G and Sweet Tea, they arrive. Now everybody, including Dr. Mimi, talking about, uh-oh, here comes Messy. Ma'am, who are you? I'm not liking Dr. Mimi. She flip-flopping. I don't like that. I know she's supposed to integrate into the group, but it just gives messy. I don't know. I just didn't like the little side comments because, girl, are you her friend or not? I just don't get it. Child, please. I wish I would do all this for 1 hour and a cocktail hour at that. Baby, the way that I would show up dressed normally, because y'all are not about to play in my face. 1 hour. So they each get this messy Bridgerton newsletter courtesy of Sweet Tea. Girl, what is this? Child, they done called out Curtis and his little grab hand ways. He had his hand placed ever so on Heavenly's waist. And Heavenly, I'm shocked at you. Because, baby, you would have a fit if somebody even breathed in Dr. Damon Daddy's direction. and you let Curtis put his hand on your waist like y'all were posing for a prom picture? Say, well, now, and what is with you, Curtis, always touching everybody? I was like, ugh. Because y'all remember when he pulled Toya down in his lap right after the cheating scandal? And now here you are placing your hand upon Dr. Heavenly's waist? Child, this is a fool. Okay, now, she gave this newsletter out or whatever, but I would have to cut Sweet Tea out. I'm sorry, bringing this messy-ass newsletter to my 16th anniversary party? This could have gone terribly wrong. Girl, please stop. Now, I understand you have been stifled all season. You haven't really been able to speak your speech. I get it. But why would you bring this newsletter in writing, a good old paper trail, to this woman's 16th anniversary party? That is insane. While all of these indiscretions are going on and everybody's reading this newsletter, Dr. G is over there telling Curtis that he's going to let the group work things out. Curtis was like, oh, finally, okay, we're getting somewhere. This season has me so confused, child. What the hell the group gonna work it out for? Anyway, Dr. Contessa is over there asking Sweet Tea, do you want to stay? Because you're supposed to be getting ready to leave. Like, do you want to stay around here? Dr. Simone and Toya are talking like, why is Dr. Contessa trying to convince Sweet Tea to stay here? Now, she does want to stay, but Heavenly and Quad are on their way. But why? Y'all can't just ignore each other? Dr. Simone and Toya are talking about how things are going to work out. So Dr. Simone and Sweet Tea, they're talking as well. And she's like, yeah, I don't think you would want to be here when they get here. The way that Sweet Tea insists on staying in this party, girl, just go, because you should never stay a place where you're not wanted. Plus, if there's paperwork in place, it's time for y'all to roll. Why would you want to be around the very person that he has on papers? Now, don't get me wrong. You know, it came out that he didn't actually go through with it or whatever. But just the mere thought of him putting that out there to keep this man away, that's insane too. You know, it just, I'm just not liking anybody involved. I have an attitude about the whole thing, child. So Dr. G stepped in and said, okay, well, we don't want to ruin your night, so we're going to go ahead and leave. Because, you know, time heals all wounds. So they go ahead and exit. The way that they're showing Sweet Tea's package, it looks like an exit. I don't know. It looked wrapped up in a nice little bow to me. Now, it's given just in case. Like, we're going to wrap her time up here on the show just in case she doesn't get a chance to come back. Now, I would truly be sad for Sweet Tea if she was not afforded the option of coming back, because I think she wants to stay and work on things, and I think she wants to stay on the show, but Dr. G and Quad are not capable of coexisting. So she's really stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I feel bad because it's like, man, she got to lose her check because the two of them can't be in the same space, but, you know, she knew what she signed up for when she signed up for it. Moving forward. In the next part of the scene, Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon arrive. Now, Heavenly, you said that Sweet Tea copied her reunion hair off of your finale hair. Now, I'm looking at your hair. How on earth do you think she got her hairstyle for the reunion from this here that you got up here, this Queen Charlotte look? You think she copied off of that? How? When she didn't even see you. I feel like sometimes you just want to be mean to her. Because at first I was like, okay, well, let me see what Dr. Heavenly's hair looks like on the finale. But then to see that the two of you didn't even cross paths, it's like, girl, how would she copy off of you when she didn't see it? Unless you're saying that she watched the show, but the reunion has already been since taped. And it just don't make no sense. Leave that lady alone, ma'am. Leave that lady alone. So now that all of them are there, the ladies and their husbands are introduced. Finally, Quad and King arrive. And they did look nice in their royal purple. They looked really nice. Then the couple of the hour, Dr. Eugene and Toya. And I want to just say congratulations again on 16 years. That is major. Toya being all fake, talking about, you know, we're so happy to have you back, King, because you've been nothing but a gentleman. You've been nothing but nice. Y'all have pissed me off this season. Y'all have pissed me off this season. I'm not saying King is a bad guy, because I think he really does mean well. He seems even keeled and he seems like a nice guy. He really does. But it's just the fakeness of the entire season that's really irking me. So then Dr. Eugene takes the mic and he starts to speak his speech about how he met Toya. He said, you know, when he moved to Atlanta, he wanted to do him and every woman that he saw because Atlanta had beautiful women. After he walked into a restaurant and saw Toya, he was like, you know what? Change your plans. And then he fell in love with Toya. I was like, oh. And when they were showing those pictures, I told y'all a few seasons ago, I said, Toya is the finest thing that Eugene has ever seen in his life. He gonna let her do and be her because he does not think that he will ever get another woman as fine as Toya. And I was correct, especially when they showed those throwback pictures. He seemed like the goofy kid that really wasn't like super popular. And then you have Toya, you know, she probably was zipping it and zooming it all over Atlanta. And then she gave him a chance. Baby, you think he finna let that go? Child, you would be a fool. So then Toya gets in a confessional and she says the reason why she loves Dr. Eugene is because he makes her feel smart. And he always talked about how proud he was of her. That was so beautiful to me, y'all. I actually teared up. I did. I was like, oh my gosh, that was so sweet. You know, Toya and Eugene, y'all really have something special. And Toya, I want you to appreciate it and cherish it more. Because he turns to her and he says how great of a mother she is and how he doesn't tell her that often. She's like, oh, don't tell me that now because it's not even going to matter. Tell me in a few days because it's like, does it really matter if somebody has to prompt you to say it? I don't think anybody prompted him to say it. I just think that he heard all the nice things that you were saying about him and he was in the moment. So he wanted to let you know that he loves you as a mother. Child, Toya know how to bring down the mood, child. Moving forward. Over on the other side of the room, the men are over there telling King that Dr. G is willing to talk. Back over with the ladies, Simone is telling Quad that Dr. G was just embarrassed. And she's like, is there any way that y'all can coexist? Quad said, I'm not interested. Well, is there any why? She's not interested. She's not interested. She forgives, but she says she doesn't want to be around them. So then Toya's like, well, can we just extend some grace? I don't know why they did this to begin with. This was a bonehead move from the start. I know y'all didn't never think that this was going to make sense. And see, the thing is, y'all thought that you were going to just have Dr. G and Sweet Tea to throw in Quad's face. And then you were going to say, yeah, and Quad doesn't have anybody to bring on the couple's trip. But then she popped out with a man. And it's like, wait a minute. Whoa. Okay, we were not planning for that because Quad don't really be letting us in on nothing. Oh, Lord. So now you have two couples. And then there's a person in each couple that hates the other person in the other couple because they used to be married. It is ridiculous. King is over there with the men saying that he's open to sitting down with Dr. G. Now, I thought that was really big of him. Meanwhile, Toya is saying that it's like Quad wants them to choose and she doesn't want to lose anyone else out of the group. Quad said, okay, well then lose me. Toya, you're confusing me because didn't you say that you would choose Quad every single time? Maybe that's why she's resisting. Because y'all are saying one thing and then doing another. This is all so childish. Okay, all of it is childish. And I wish there was a way for Sweet Tea to be a part of the group without Dr. G, but it is married to medicine. Now, me personally, I wouldn't want to be around my ex-husband, especially given their history. I don't even know why they would bring that man back, knowing exactly what they went through. And now everybody want to say, oh, I see exactly what Quad was saying. We should have believed Quad. Child, anyway. And for everybody that's going to say that Quad is not married to medicine, listen, the men don't get paid to be on this show. They do not. But they are an integral part of this franchise. But I want to say that the show started with Mariah and Quad, and they were best friends. So, of course, if they're best friends, she's going to be a part of the show. She just so happened to be married to a doctor. Well, when they got divorced, that didn't mean that she gets kicked off of the show. The men are not the focal point. The women are. And again, I always say this, if we're going to go with being literal, then cancel every housewife show. Unless all of them are housewives. Because ain't none of them a housewife. Moving forward. So then Toya says everyone made mistakes, including King. And Quad was like, what mistakes did King make? What the people say they made? What they do? Girl, you might not know, but he made some mistakes. Here come Heavenly piping up. Taking up for your wife. Heavenly, please pipe down. Okay, you're doing good. Ain't nobody said nothing to you. Just be quiet. Dr. Simone says, well, we're a fractured group. Heavenly said, no, we ain't never been so fractured that one of us got to come at this time and the other person got to come at this time. Y'all are a fraudulent group. Not a fractured group, a fraudulent group. You don't know what you want to do or who y'all want to do it with. Y'all don't know who you want to stay and who you want to go. It is exhausting. And the fact that this woman came for merely 1 hour to try to save her job, that is insane. Sweet Tea, you should not have shown up to this event. That is crazy. Because, I mean, clearly, Quad and King get the actual party. You came for past drinks. Because you said when y'all were leaving, let's go get something to eat. Not dressed like that. Greg better take that damn wig off and y'all better go home and change your clothes. Go home and change your clothes. Moving forward. So now it's time for all the couples to do their dance. They all do their 1-2 step. After that, it's time to cut a rug. Everybody's dancing, having a good time. And, you know, it's just a good old fashioned party. Toya gets in the confessional, and the way that she was talking like she didn't really care who stayed or who went. But I just know this, judging from the end of this episode, everybody will not be coming back next season. And that was the end of season 11. All right, so that wraps it up. I don't know what's going on. The people are divided. The cast is divided. Greg was looking like George Washington. I don't know what was going on, child. Everything was a fool. It was random Caucasian people in corners. I just don't know. I really don't know. I know that the group is fake, and yeah, I'm over it. I'll meet y'all at the reunion, though, because did y'all see? I told y'all, didn't I tell y'all on a few reviews back? I think it was like whatever review they were at the Dude Ranch, and Simone apologized to Quad. I told y'all then, I said that she gonna get right down to that reunion and be mad at Quad again. And just like clockwork, she's down to their reunion and she's mad at Quad again. Y'all comment down below. Tell me exactly what you thought about the season in its entirety. What did you think? Meet me for the reunion part 1 next Sunday, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.